Yeah.
But they're not. I've got 4 of them, and only one's turning on. And I fully charged them last night.
VJ, before you start moving things down the back, could you do the chairs? Is that all right for the next performer? Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting you to do so much.
Nice. Well, Alexander,
yes,
the master of improvisation, it was absurd, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. But before we get into it, I have a little tradition when I do these in-person podcasts. We do a little clap. We do a little 3, 2, 1 and clap together, and that's the beginning. So you ready to join me?
Yeah, I can do
Here
that.
we go. 3, 2, 1. We're in.
Hey,
so
here we are.
Thank you. You took me on a journey. When it started, I was very much reminded of like Charlie Chaplin.
Oh, okay.
And I thought it was going to be a silent comedy. I didn't know what to expect at all. The absurdity of it all, the shock, as you came, I don't want to spoil any of it, but as you came into the room, it started out like a silent film in theatre form, but then it turned into something similar to the Mighty Boosh, and I was not prepared for that. But at points I couldn't stop laughing and I was crying.
Thank you. Yeah.
How does it feel? We've literally just come out of that experience. How does it feel for you?
It's exhausting and exhilarating. I think you've called me on a particularly good show where it felt like the audience were willing to jump in and play. I think like there are times where the shows that I do can be a little bit more stilted. It's a bit harder to kind of convince people to like just let go and be like, you know what? Yeah, at this point I'm gonna put this sock on my hand and pretend to be your childhood sweetheart. Like, and those can be a bit more demanding. And after those, I might be slightly a little bit more morose afterwards. You know, because it's almost like it's a sense of rejection in a way, because I feel like I try really hard to make the space feel safe, and when people still don't want to jump in, I'm like, do I not make it safe enough? Do I not quite do enough work and stuff? But today, everyone was like so willing to jump in and play, and it just makes it so much fun.
I think the thing with comedy is not every comedy is for everyone.
Yeah.
And there was a point in my life where if I'd have watched Charlie Chaplin when I was younger, I would have absolutely hated it. If I'd have watched, there was a point in my life where the first time I watched The Mighty Boosh, I was like, what is this crap? Yeah. Like, I don't get it. But then I watch it now on a second watch, and I'm like, that's genius.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing that you've got here, is that on a first watch and you don't know, some people might not be ready for it.
Yeah.
Yeah? So when you've got an audience that are like, how do I engage with this? Because there is audience participation. It might not be, they might not be ready for it.
That's true, yeah. And hopefully they will be when Snake Boy 3 comes. Yeah.
Yes.
I think what is always so interesting to me is when people describe the show as absurd to me. I almost balk at it. Like, I understand it, but then I'm almost like, what do you mean? It makes perfect sense to me. Because I think about every moment and even like little absurd images that made to the audience be like, oh, he's just thrown some random things together. In my mind, I'm like, no, this makes perfect sense, that this is what Snake Boy would do at this moment, or this is how that would occur, and so on and so forth. But I think it's always fun that I have a weird mind.
But I think also where you're improvising a lot of this, where you're asking the audience for inspiration of what's happening next within this story, you're building on that all the time, and you must have to be in this kind of space.
Yeah, I mean, it's some of the most fun parts for me are stuff like the not to spoil too much, but the crony, because oftentimes when I'm that character, I will start speaking before I've figured out exactly what I'm going to say, and there is that very fun sense of danger where I'm essentially just trusting that my brain will eventually put the words together into something funny, or at least something interesting. So that's some of the most fun, because it's so satisfying when I start off just saying, you will, and by the end I've got people laughing.
Yeah. where do these characters come from? Was you inspired by the things that I've mentioned? Was you inspired by that kind of silent era of film and that original comedy, moving into the things that are a bit weird and wacky, like Mighty Boosh? Was you inspired by that?
I mean, I watched a lot of alternative comedy growing up. So both the Mighty Boosh, but also stuff from Australia, stuff from America. Like, I think one of the main reasons I probably gravitated so quickly to alternative comedy is that I just watched all of the regular comedy so quickly that I was like bored of it, and I was like, no, I need even more avant-garde stuff. But yeah, I think with this, it's more interesting because there are so much more room for how to tell a joke. Right? When you're doing stand-up, there is the written word, and there is like an element of your performance, but you are still somewhat restricted in that way. And like, you can have really good stand-up with very strange, absurd, alternative jokes and stuff, but this is so much more exploratory. It's more fun for me to come up with like weird ways to do gags that I wouldn't normally be able to do if I was just talking. Yeah, in terms of specific characters, I think this show in particular, although it may seem very nonsensical, I'm kind of like looking at ideas and themes of kindness and success, of like, as an artist, like how much do you need to lose yourself in the industry, in this like pursuit of success and stuff, to really make it, because it does feel a lot of the time like there is some need to do that. Like the Snake Boy is meant to be reflected by the crony, because all of these are like very basic morality tales about, you know, being kind to others. So yeah, I think I start definitely from an absurd place, but once I start to figure out what meaning I can draw from the absurdity, that's when the characters really kind of form.
And I guess that's when it works best for the audience, when there is a message underneath, when it isn't just, you're not just being silly there, because that wouldn't work.
Yeah.
If you were just doing these crazy things and you were just, if you just play, I think the audience would get bored. I think the audience would lose interest, because then it just become about you.
Yeah.
But the story here became about everyone in the room.
Yeah.
And there was a journey. We did go on that journey, and we went on that journey with you.
Yeah, it had a 3-act structure.
Yeah.
Trust me, folks. I've got the boards to prove it, all right?
So, what's next for you? Is it Snake Boy free? Is it sticking to this character? Is this who Alexander really is? Is Snake Boy?
I mean, another big thing that I'm dealing with Snake Boy is, as a performer, as a solo performer, I've worked for so long just by myself. Like, Snake Boy Takes Manhattan, I don't have a producer or a director or anything like that. I am my writer, I am my performer. I managed to get a lot of really helpful people that help me make this production what it is, but like, when the pen first hits the paper, it's me and me alone, and I'm tired of that. I want to work with more people, I want to collaborate more, and you know, that's something that Snake Boy realizes at the end, like, he needs his friends.
That's nice, but I wonder if that's your thing, though, because like you said, you know the journey of this character inside out, that when the audience throws something at you, you know where to take that works, because it's all you. So if you add other people into that, I feel like there is a growth on this character. I feel like this is the beginning of something. Well,
see, I think I would still do Snake Boy by myself, but I think I would just want to do more projects with other people as well.
Just to add, the collaboration does add in new elements and does help it grow, I guess. Yeah.
But yes, I think for now I'm going to keep working on Snake Boy until I really feel like the show is like great. Bring it to the Fringe again next year, do like a full run, and then I guess just see where I'm at. I mean, I tease the third Snake Boy idea as like a bit of a joke, but hey, maybe in 10 years' time.
I like the idea of Snake Boy 26, and you come into it at any point, like, and that just adds to the like, what is like. I had no idea what this was.
Yeah,
I really did not know what to expect, and I think that's part of the appeal of it, actually, is and that's why I was able to be free and just go with the humour is the unknown.
That's good.
And it was really nice to have it in this content.
Yeah.
This was a nice way to do theatre in here.
Yeah, I think we might have to get
Yeah, that's
moving
cool.
just for this next act. But this space, it has its challenges, but it's nice to have spaces that allow you to put on stuff for free, and like, you know, be with other clowns and other like weird comedians.
Well, last important question: if anyone wants to find out more about you, wants to find out more about Snake Boy, where do they go?
Yeah, just jump on my Instagram at lex_Richmond. Follow me there. You'll see some stuff. I'll eventually update my website with more information.
Wonderful. Well, thanks again, Alexander.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you in person following our last conversation. And if anyone was watching or listening, we appreciate you for joining us for this
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks again.
Bye.
Lovely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, a lovely 10 minutes there.
Beautiful.